And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another episode of Generation Shock. How y'all doing tonight? I'm your boy, the monster on the mic, Sheck Monster. I got the creator and superstar Messiah here with me. And we're going to talk a little bit about some... Oh, my mind just went blank. We're going to talk a little bit about some tax returns from some rich people, a little bit about virtual worlds, and a little bit about entitlement. That's the word that slipped my mind. You know, without further ado, though, I don't know why I didn't have this all queued up, ready to go, but it only takes a minute, so let's hit it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. All right. So, before we get to any of those topics that we're about to discuss tonight, first and foremost, it's that time of year where things are often popping in the sports world. So, you know, I think we're going to have a little segment of Monster Week in Sports. Let's kick out that intro.
Yes, do this.
Gotta climb to the top, but we're never gonna stop. When the low, yeah, we going high.
All right. So, a lot of stuff went on in the sports world recently. So I wrote a couple of them down. Want to talk a little bit about it. There's some good stuff. I think first, the big highlight of the weekend for me was John Rahm winning the U.S. Open. And I think it's a little poetic justice because it was literally 2 weeks before that. He had a three-hole lead, or a three-round lead, excuse me. He was up by 6. And
okay,
he had to
I was going to say three-hole.
Yeah, he had to exit the tournament because of a COVID test. And I guess he got tested either positive or contact tracing put him into a positive scenario that he got pulled off the golf course after the third day, and he was up by 6. Mm-hmm. So to see him go from that and be able to come back and win the U.S. Open, I thought that was pretty damn cool, if you ask me.
Did that give him a handicap or it didn't?
What do you mean a handicap?
A +1 or a -1?
No, you didn't
when
get
he came in
for that. That's not quite how the world works in sports. You don't get handicaps
in the real sports.
Like in real sports. I know in your baseball game you probably just hit rewind and do a mulligan. You know what I'm saying? But in the real world, that doesn't work like that.
No. It doesn't work that way.
We also have the Euros going on right now. The Euro Cup, I guess, is what you call it. So it's been very exciting. Been watching a lot of that. So Ronaldo from Portugal has been setting some records out there, scoring goals.
Can you believe like his gesture of getting rid of the Coca-Colas and adding water cost Coca-Cola $4 billion?
Where'd they get rid of Coca-Cola at?
You know how in the interview when he sits down to talk about interviews?
Oh,
he sat down, right? This happens a couple of days ago. Actually, last week, I think it was. My wife sent me like, damn, can you believe the power this man has? So basically, he sat down to do the interview, and I guess that league is sponsored by Coke or different beverages, right? But it's all Coke brand. And he decided to get rid of the Coke on camera. He's like, give me the water. He took the water and all that. And that gesture alone cost Coke to drop in stocks. I think it was $4 billion, and it was equivalent to $4 billion. Jesus,
I don't know about all that. That seems a little exaggerated.
Oh, there was an article on it.
Yeah, it
can't be made up.
You don't lose. You didn't. First of all, Coca. How much do you think Coca-Cola is worth?
I don't know. I have to check that.
Okay. Well, I don't think they're worth $25 billion. That they lost $4 billion.
So maybe I read the numbers wrong. Maybe
definitely read this shit wrong. Yeah.
Maybe it's $4 million, but still, a gesture alone cost you a lot of money.
Well, for all we know, he might be sponsored by somebody else, right? So
he probably is, right?
Yeah,
but the thing is that I think the event is sponsored by Coke.
He doesn't give a damn about the event. The event needs him more than he needs the event.
I know that, but
so that's my point.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
But you're not understanding what I'm saying. His endorsements.
$4 billion. Look, $4 billion. So yeah.
I don't believe
Coca-Cola market value falls $4 billion after Cristiano Ronaldo removes bottles for water. And that's an actual Apple News, by the way. Let me set it here right now.
I don't believe it.
It's a B&R Bleachers Report.
Bleachers Report is a sports thing. I have Bleachers Report.
Okay,
doesn't mean I believe it.
I'm not saying for you to believe it, but what I'm telling you is that gesture alone.
Once again, if he's being sponsored by a different company, he doesn't give a shit. He has to worry about his sponsorships.
I get that, but you gotta understand what I'm saying. It's not about that he gave a fuck about it. It's the fact that he told him, no, I don't want the Coca-Cola here. Give me the water, because he preferred drinking water. And the reason, well, when I was reading the article, I think the article said is he's upset with his kids because they're drinking soda. With his kids.
It could be. Who knows?
So he made the gesture to prove to them that, hey, fuck this. Yo, give me the water.
Like, it doesn't even matter. He's not drinking any of it on camera anyway. Who the hell cares?
It was on camera.
He's not drinking it.
I know that, but the fact that it was right there, it was like literally right here. But look, I'll show you, bro. It was like this. He's in an interview in the Coca-Cola. It was right here, right? He was like, yo, give me this shit. Get rid of this shit and give me this shit. And that cost them, it cost Coca-Cola drop the stocks $4 billion.
There's no way anything's going to drop $4 billion.
I think I broke my sword.
I think you're crazy. I think that article is falsified.
Okay.
I don't believe it to be factual.
Maybe it is. But think about the gesture alone, though, that how powerful that gesture was, that it cost the stock to drop. But
listen,
anyways,
that is crazy.
It is.
So
that's how powerful he is.
Right.
That gesture was, not he is. That gesture.
I don't know. I wish I was that powerful. Fuck me. So, basketball is in full effect. We only have 4 teams left. We're down to the final 4. We got the Suns and the Clippers, and we got the Hawks and the Bucks. So who do you got?
Still in it?
Atlanta's still in it. Trey Young is out there balling, straight just dropping.
That's crazy.
Dropping them on him. Devin
Who else does
up.
he have?
I don't even know who he has.
But he's killing it though.
Listen, I know 5 players.
So they got rid of the Nets?
I got 5 play. Well, yeah, because Harden was hurt and Kyrie.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Just saying.
But don't they have this guy? What's his name? The center. What's his name? That he went from Warriors. KD, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Don't they have Kevin Durant?
He's not a center.
Oh, he's a power forward.
Yeah. Yeah, but he can't do it on his own.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get
it. He couldn't do it when he was in KC alone. Why would he do it in New York alone?
It was so you telling me that he didn't have somebody else to back him up? They didn't have like 4 good people.
No, they had a bunch of washouts and 2 good people, and both those good people got hurt. So,
he ain't shit.
I'm just saying. So who do you got? Who's left then? You got the Suns or the Clippers or the Hawks or the Bucks?
Okay, I'll go with the Hawks. Okay. Right. And then what was the other 2 teams?
The Suns and the Clippers.
Ooh. If the Clippers win, the Lakers will be like, yo, it's an embarrassment to the Lakers. So I'll go against the Clippers.
A smart move because I think they're down. I think the Clippers are down 2-0.
Oh, there you go. See?
Yeah. So you didn't see that play last night?
No.
Oh my gosh. They're down to 0.9 seconds left on the clock.
The
Suns, they're down 2 points. And from out of bounds, they alley-oop under the basket. Devin Booker lays a freaking a block so the guy could get slightly loose, and he goes up and he dunks it and wins the game with 0.9 seconds left. Yep, alley-oop dunk. Fucking crazy game. It was good.
It must have been crazy exciting.
Crazy. Yeah. There's also some crazy shit going on out there as far as trash talking. I know you probably heard about this. There's an NFL player that was asked about, the whole process of him being a free agent. And he's like, he's getting down towards the end of the line, and we were trying to figure out the last couple teams. And one of the teams decided they were going to pull out. And I just sat there and thought to myself, you're going to keep that motherfucker? That's what you're going to keep? Yeah, guess who said that?
Who?
Tom Brady.
No way.
You didn't see the post?
Nah. No,
I wish I had it to put up here. I have it. I just don't have to put up here. But yeah, he was talking shit. That was on Bleacher Report too. He was out there.
Tom Brady was talking shit about what?
He wouldn't say what team it was, but one of the NFL teams that he was thinking about going to bowed out at the end. And in his mind, he's like, "Oh, you're really going to keep that guy over and not pursue me? You guys are crazy." Like talking trash. Then you didn't see the other video with Tom Brady in it.
So that's unlike of Tom Brady.
Dude, you didn't see the other video with Tom Brady in it, did you?
No, and I
Dude,
follow
you
him
gotta-
on Instagram. I follow him on Instagram, but the thing is that
This was on Instagram.
I know, but and I said that like I follow him on Instagram, but I haven't been on social media for like a couple of days.
Damn, dude. So, have you heard about the event that's coming up with Tom Brady?
No.
Oh my God, where are you at?
I know.
You're so.
I know.
This is like me for the rest of the show. I'm just gonna be like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
No, but this is good. It's because you get a natural reaction from me, and I know, like
Yeah,
but go ahead, but tell me.
To talk about it much. But
Yeah, you
anyway,
could.
so they're having a golf match, and it's going to be him and Phil Mickelson versus Aaron Rodgers and Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh, I heard that. That I did hear.
So
I
he
did
has
hear
a
that.
video where he's like 25, 30 feet away from the pin, and he has 3 balls, and he drops one down and goes, "Yo, Aaron, this is for you." Drains that motherfucker. "Yo, Bryson, I'm gonna give you a little bit what I gave Aaron." Dripes that motherfucker. "Yo,
Really?
Phil, this is what you can expect to see happen. We're out here whipping their ass." Drains another one. 3 straight
For
bombs.
30 feet?
Dude, at least like 30, 40 feet with a little bit of curve on it. Yeah. Dude, I should have. If I would have known you didn't see that, I would have pulled up that video too.
Well, you should have we
Yeah.
should. We
You
did
gotta
have
go
a
watch those
pre-show. We
videos,
just
though.
didn't talk
If you
about
haven't
it.
seen it, if you haven't seen it, go check it out because he was draining some putts and talking mad.
I'm gonna
mad
go
smack.
on his Instagram and look at it.
Oh man, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Mad smack. So
Tom Brady talking smack. Look at that. Who would think, right? He left the Patriots. Now he's he's a bad boy.
yeah, he's a something, all right. Definitely a something.
Getting drunk with what is it? What is it called? What was it that he got drunk with? Some organic fucking alcohol that
Yeah, who
made him
knows, man?
drunk.
He's such a weirdo.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all I got for sports. Unless you have something you want to add, but I know you don't. So
I don't.
yeah.
What up, Tasha? Why are we getting commercials on our live shit?
What do you mean we're getting commercials?
I don't know. I just hit on something and I noticed that there's a commercial on our live shit.
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, maybe I clicked on the wrong link. What
Yeah,
the hell?
probably.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
The
won't be the first
fuck?
time you fucked up. Mid.
What up?
Mid-show.
What up, Tasha?
What up, Tosh? All right, so let's go ahead. What do you want to jump? Which topic would you like to dabble
so-
into first, my friend?
Let's talk about entitlement and actually, you know what's interesting about that part, the entitlement part. I was actually talking to an ex-military guy, that his dog, like I guess his dog was like sick, and he was getting his car worked on, and his dog ended up, it's a big dog, ended up pooping in on the floor, in the sales floor. So, everybody was like, "Oh, that's disgusting," this and that. So I went over there, to talk to him and all that. He came, he's like, "Hey, listen, I'll pay for the cleaning and all that." I'm like, "Listen, we don't need you to pay for the cleaning. I'm gonna clean it up, but if you don't mind giving me a hand, He's like, "No, I'll help you out." So, because it was big, bro, because he was a big dog. And then I'm talking to him, and then after that, talking to him, I discovered he's in the military. And I'm like, "Oh, cool, that's crazy." We have us, because he started talking about some guy that actually walks by. He's on his phone, and he literally steps on the poop, right? And he's like, "Yo, people are lost. Like they have no idea what's going on because they're too busy on the phone, this and this and that. And how could he not notice this is here?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about that. We're gonna clean it anyways." So we're talking about it, and then we start talking. For some reason, entitlement came up. The word entitlement came up, and we're talking. I go, I believe, me personally, if anybody's entitled to anything, it's military. Anybody that has served in the military. And he's like, to be honest with you, he goes, and that's when I discovered he's military. He's like, he goes, not even us are entitled to anything, because nobody deserves anything. Nobody's entitled to get, no, not deserves. Nobody's entitled to be given anything. He goes, and I'm like, but I believe because you guys put your life on the line, I believe you guys should be the only ones that's to say, to be entitled to anything. And he's like, and then he just made up a couple of points, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're right. The real world really doesn't give a fuck about anybody. It is what it is, right? And it just became an interesting conversation. So that's why I wanted to bring it up. in this conversation between us.
I'm just
How do you
confused
feel
though.
about
How the hell does the guy not clean up his own dog shit?
Because his dog was sick, so he ran outside to go have him finish, and I guess he was coming back, but his dog still hasn't finished. I guess he was just pooping as he's walking.
Oh
So
my God.
we noticed the big pile in that area, and I went out to talk to him, and then we ended up cleaning it together.
That's like the
And,
guy who shit himself coming into the store one time.
There was a woman that went through that too, and I felt
Well,
bad.
there was a
for
guy
him.
had some shorts on, and he just fucking there was shit all the way to the bathroom. Some by the front door.
Yeah,
all the way to the
yeah, I
bathroom.
remember that.
Oh my
Yeah, and there was
goodness.
actually a woman also that happened. I felt so bad for her. I cleaned it up. I felt bad for her because she couldn't make it to the restroom.
Call me entitled then, because I ain't cleaning up somebody else's shit.
I really don't care about that shit, bro.
I do. Like I'm sorry.
I did
I don't got it in
work
me.
like that when I was a teenager. I did work like that at the YMCA. I cleaned dirty ass toilets and all that shit. So to me, I didn't care for it. I just put the gloves on and took care of it.
Yeah, you ain't paying me enough. You buy my
But the one with the dog, I had to get bags and
dogs are
carry, like,
different. Yeah, dogs
poops.
are different. But I ain't cleaning up no people shit. Like I'll clean.
But
not
I
me,
just
not
felt bad
this
for the
guy.
old lady.
Not today. Not
I felt bad
today.
for the old lady.
I don't care.
So we were talking about that, and we started talking. So how do you feel about that? Like
I would have grabbed. I
do
would have
you
done
think-
the old lady like a dog. I would have grabbed her face, put her nose in it. Bad girl, bad.
Yeah, right. So how do you feel? Do you think certain people? You think no one's entitled to anything, or do you think like some people deserve should
well,
have?
I think
entitlement?
people are entitled, but I don't think there should be. I mean,
Okay.
what you believe in entitlement?
I just believe that anybody in the military should be entitled to discounts. Should be entitled to. I know it's a choice now, especially now. I know it's a choice, but they risk their lives, for our freedom. So I
Okay.
believe personally, I believe that alone entitles you to get, discounts, or
I don't know. It's really-
or for us to try to now. I'm not saying some ridiculous amount, but at
But
least
aren't we
they
already
deserve something in
paying
life.
them back for that though? Like
Bro,
I don't get what you mean.
What are
Like,
we? How are we paying them? Do you
they
know
don't
what
pay
the VA?
taxes. The military doesn't pay taxes.
What?
Do they?
Yes.
Active military?
I don't know. I don't know if in their check they do, but if they go out there and they pay taxes, they get good discounts on house loans and
No,
all
see,
that
I don't
shit.
think if they're active duty, they really get taxes taken out that I know of because the government's the one paying them. I think when they go into personal work world, yes, then they'll be taxed again. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't think they get taxed free for life or anything like
I think
that.
they should.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not I don't believe in entitlement. That's like saying the royal family shouldn't have to pay for things and shit.
What have they done? What I'm talking about is
what have they
I
done?
know
They run that country. What do you mean?
they don't
make
run.
all
The prime
major
minister
decisions.
runs the country.
Huh?
The prime minister runs the country.
Okay.
The
so then
queen
you're
is just
saying-
the face and the family.
But that's
and
what I'm
it's
just saying.
all
So it's like you
merchandise.
saying that the president of the United States, who doesn't pay taxes, I don't think afterwards, does he?
I believe he does.
Okay. Well, whatever.
He's not exempt from taxes. No, I don't think anybody's exempt from taxes.
I don't know. There's people. I don't know. We'll talk about it soon. I think there are people that are exempt from taxes.
Oh, that's
but-
research right there.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. Who's paid taxes? Oh, yeah, that's right. But I believe if
but
you
that's
let
like
your
saying
line,
that
if you let
every
your life on the
president-
line,
The presidents are should get a discount.
who?
The president of the United States. If you were ever a president, you should get discounts.
No, it's like saying a CEO should get a discount.
But that's my point though. He's putting himself in a dangerous position. He's making decisions that affect our lives. He should be,
Unless he's out there fighting the military war, unless his life is in
But why
danger.
is it that he's more entitled than anybody else then?
I didn't say he was entitled.
I'm saying he is more entitled. So
He's just because of the level he's at and the level of secrecy that gets spilled onto him and the shit that he knows, he has to be kept protected and all that.
I get it,
but I'm
like you
talking
said,
about he's not out there. He's not out there.
But
in
not
a
our-
way, he's not in the trenches fighting.
But not are all these military either. A lot of military that ain't doing nothing but sitting behind a desk, looking at video game screens.
Not all. You're right.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. Should the ones that were on the ground fighting, should they be entitled to anything? Or because it's a personal choice in life to join the military, it is what it is.
I think they have their benefits they already get, right? They get signing bonuses, they get they do get stuff with tax breaks or better loans or whatever it is. I mean, they're already getting things. I don't think, you should be entitled for the rest of your life to get something just because you made a choice to be into the military. I think if there was a draft, then that's different. Now maybe you can be entitled. Those who are drafted and forced to fight, in a war, then that's different. Maybe they have the right to be entitled.
Okay, so what about that's a valid point, but what about the people that fought the war that are still alive that were drafted?
Yeah, then like I say, okay, I could see then what you're saying with them, but I don't think just because you decide to choose that profession, because at this point, if you go into the military, that's what you're doing it as, a profession.
Yeah. I can see that.
You just because you choose that profession, you deserve more of a discount. That's like saying, why don't police officers get discounts? Firefighters get discounts.
They do.
No, not everywhere.
I know, but they get discounts in food. They get discounts in certain areas.
Okay, and so do the military. Like, Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's about where you shop and where you go and stuff. But where is the entitlement stop? Like, then if we do, that, I don't know.
I don't know. I just feel. I just think. I think because you putting your life on the line, and so do cops. So I can't say that either. So do cops, firefighters. EMTs. I think those people deserve well, they get recognized anyways, but I just think like every time I speak to somebody and I find out they're in the military or they're some kind of first responder, or I always say, hey, thank you for your service and stuff like that. I mean, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
But I just think that, if anybody should be yelling and bitching about something not happening, it should be them.
Well, I think the problem is there's too much entitlement in this damn country. I think
You're right.
needs to shut up and stop bitching.
But the guy that was in the military, the guy was helping pick up the dog shit, he actually told me himself. He was like, listen, nobody's entitled to anything. I'm not entitled to anything. And all that. And it became a good conversation between him and I. Actually, he's cool people too.
Why would anybody be entitled?
Yeah. And he's been in the trenches because he told me, like, listen, I was in the trenches.
That's like those kids that get to college, they get to go in colleges because they're legacies. They're entitled to that school because
the Harvard students and
their family
MIT.
went there. Like what the I don't care. Well, my father was a founding, or I had a founding. That's like, yeah, exactly. Oh, well, because his great grandfather fought in the Revolutionary War and helped fight to give our country the freedom. You think that they're entitled now to something, Messiah? Is that what you're saying?
No.
But their family fought in the military. Their family helped found this country.
Yeah,
like,
but their family was the one who sacrificed themselves. So exactly. They are entitled. They're entitled.
The family suffered for that because of that sacrifice. So is the family entitled now too?
Well, what generation? Let's say, for example, if I'm married and my son lives with me and I go to war and something happens to me at war, then yeah, I think we should like the nuclear, not his son. Whenever he has a son or daughter,
never got to meet him, never had the opportunity. That was
Tasha has a question.
What's up? I'm let me
read
back. Why are my messages not appearing on the screen? Strange. The screen, as in what you were what you're viewing, or what do you mean?
I guess you have to hit that button.
Depends on what you're watching, Tasha. If you're watching on your phone, you're not going to see it the same as if you're on your computer. Every platform's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So, okay. Valid point.
I just don't know where you start to draw the line is the problem.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it difficult. So.
Well, what is, so, okay, let me ask you this. And this might come off as wrong, but what is
usually
reparations? Isn't that you giving back something because you taken something from somebody? Reparation?
What is it?
Reparation?
Yeah, something like that.
Because I know Native Americans, their kids get to go to junior college, correct. I think it is, for free and all that.
Yeah.
So isn't that an entitlement?
Yeah. I mean, that's also, I guess, a form of entitlement.
So why can we do that? Why could we do that for certain people, but we can't do that for other people? That's like you said, that's drawing the line.
I mean, because I guess it's not really entitlement if it's reparation, right? Like if you're getting awarded for something because you were treated badly, does that make you entitled?
No.
So that's what so that's the difference, right? So the American Indian or Native American people who don't pay taxes because actually they don't have to.
Really?
Correct.
So if you're in the bloodline, if you belong to the specific tribe, you don't pay taxes.
If you live on the reservations, there are no taxes.
Oh, on the reservation, but there's no jobs on the reservation.
Yeah, there are.
What taxes are you gonna pay?
Casinos.
Who owns the casinos?
It's the Native
not the Native Americans. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
Correct. So
right, not them.
Anyways, but my point is that they're being reparations for all the things that were done to them and all the tragedies. That's different, right? I don't think entitlement comes from tragedy.
Okay.
So, they didn't choose to have their family slaughtered and destroyed
and the land taken
correct
from them.
Yeah.
Man, this conversation can go far that way. If I could, yeah. All right, next area. Area.
So we kept on talking about taxes.
Yep.
So let's talk about some entitled motherfuckers who don't pay taxes, it looks like.
Well, they do, but they just pay a small percentage.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think they paid them.
Yeah, they do.
So I had to put the image up. And
I wish you can pause it or you can put it somewhere where we can stare at it.
I could put it on the small screen still.
Yeah. So look at this, right? It says Jeff Bezos paid tax 0.98% in tax. So he paid $973 million. Elon Musk paid $455 million in taxes, which is a 3% tax. And then Warren Buffett, $23.7 million, which is
so got to the top of the screen, even though it's going to be hard to see. But go ahead.
Yeah. So think about that. How do you feel about that? Tell me how you feel about that.
I don't believe that this is what you call, to me, some of this is still what we call fake news out there, right?
Okay.
Number one, we don't know. I don't know enough about tax laws to understand how these people are taxed, right?
Yeah.
They're not talking about the individual wealth of the person when they talk about these amounts. Okay, I don't believe. When we're talking about $34 billion, that individual isn't worth $34 billion. Okay. That is a 3, right? Or is that a 2? I can't tell. It's too small now. Maybe it's a 2. But he's not worth that. He has businesses and investments and companies that his total his total worth is that, right?
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. If I make $10 million 1 year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get taxed on that $10 million I made.
Yep.
Now in year 2, right? The next year after that, if I only make $20,000, am I still being taxed on the $10 million from the year before?
No, you should be taxed on the $20,000 you made that year.
Okay, but my net worth though is still $10 million.
Do you still have the $10 million?
Yep, I have it.
So I believe you still pay those taxes. It's based on technically the tax is supposed to be on your income,
not your worth.
On your income, not your net worth. Theirs is different.
Yeah. Well, that's
the way it's broken down there.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why it's hard for me to comment on that because we don't know. Is this like did Warren Buffett make $24 billion last year alone?
Probably, in his role, probably because his company made more.
Well, yeah, but I don't think he's making $24 billion out there on his own.
I think he made that in his but it's probably what he pocketed or what his company grew. His investments grew $24 billion.
Okay.
So
Like
yeah,
Jeff
so he made
Bezos-
that. If right now, like if I have if I have total in stocks, if I have $10,000, for example, I get taxed for that because those are my investments. I would pay taxes for that. So, and then like if it increases the year after, I still pay taxes on that. So that's what's happening with them. They pay taxes based on what they made that year. Because remember, when these
But
guys,
like I
when
say,
they make
is that
investments,
them or is that their companies? Like if I'm a CEO of a company and I hold like if I hold stakes in my company, am I being taxed on that or am I being taxed on what I made as CEO?
well, I think that's a great question. That because remember, he's gonna get two taxes probably. Again, these are the 1%, the 2% to the 1%. How I know it, like how I get taxed, I pay two taxes. I pay my yearly net worth, right? My yearly income, household, because we file together, and then I also in part of that I have to add my investments, so that also counts, and I get taxed on all of it. So what I have in my investment, even though if I didn't add it, if it increased or if it decreased, if I took some out, I pay even more taxes if I take it out. So you pay taxes on everything, on the income for the year plus what you have in investment.
That's not. I think you got to you have somebody do your taxes. You do them yourself.
No, I have somebody do them.
All right, because that doesn't make sense. Because I'm not being taxed on my 401k every year.
No, you don't. If you take it out, you do.
Yeah, but I'm not taking it out. So that's what I'm saying.
But I think the reason why I got taxed this year because I took money out for my stocks. Or I started fooling around with option trading, and I lost some and I gained some.
I get it, but what I'm saying is that money doesn't get taxed every year, right? It's only what I contribute.
Yeah, what you bring in income. When you take, so if I take that out,
but that contribution's part of my income anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I mean, I started off with when I'm doing my taxes, I'm not getting taxed on my entire worth of my 401k.
No, you're not. No, but let's say if you have $10,000 and you sell those $10,000 worth of stocks,
correct?
That year you get taxed on that.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, of course. But that's what I'm saying. That this year, the reason why
you think these guys sold $24 billion in stocks,
but they made trades.
Okay,
these guys sell and buy every time.
I get it, but until you do, but it goes up and down, right?
Yeah. But if they remember what I learned this year when I did my taxes is when I did option trading.
Anytime you sell, you're saying
exactly because it's an income.
Okay.
Even though if you reinvested on something else, it's like you took it in and then you bought something else with it. So that's the way I've learned with me. But then again, how do you feel about that? That they pay that much? Well, they pay a certain percentage because I guess what people's making a big stink about it is the percentage.
But that's once again we don't know. I don't know enough about the tax laws to know. What's it a real percentage of?
Well, it looks like that top 1% pays less than what we do in taxes. Well, percentage wise, not dollar wise. And that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Well, they're always going to find a way to get tax breaks and all that bullshit. There's nothing, I don't know.
But here's my thought on this. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up. These three guys here, yes, they're paying lower percentage on their income or whatever that's being based on. But one, look what that percentage is in dollar amount, right? Two, they're part of the workforce of this country. They're providing people jobs. They're contributing to the country. What am I doing to argue about why they pay less taxes than me? I'm working for a company. I'm not providing jobs. So that's how they get that. That's why I believe they should get tax breaks because they creating the workforce of the country.
Dude, sometimes you say shit. I feel like you need to stop and think about how asinine it's going to sound.
Well, okay. So you're telling. Go ahead.
So
bring up. Okay. Tell me. Give me your defense.
So this is my defense.
Okay.
Your argument. What is their number one goal? What is their number one goal?
To make money.
Okay. Yeah. Are they going to be able to make money if they don't hire people.
No.
So it's not that they're creating jobs because they're just like, hey, we're kind-hearted people. They're money-hungry
You're right.
capitalists that that are forcing. You know what they could do? They could give them higher wages, but they don't. Right?
Yeah,
they
you're
still
right.
Keep that shit a minimum. So fuck all that shit
But
about.
I get
a tax
that.
break because you create a job. Get the hell out of here.
I get that, but they're doing some. Okay, so let's just say let's just say this. None of them existed and no company existed. How you gonna make money?
Easy. We would all be doing the same thing we did before there were companies. You'd go out there and farm. Somebody else would go out there and gather.
And we trade, right? And we trade. But that's not where we're at.
That's fine, but I'm not going to give you a credit because you decided to create a business and it was successful.
That creates thousands of jobs.
That's
right?
not, but it has nothing to do with it creating thousands of jobs.
Why not?
That has nothing to do with it. Why does that have anything to do with? So in order for there to be thousands of jobs, you become billions and billions times richer. They go together. Fine. You know what? Pay more taxes. Get rid of the jobs. I'm fine with that.
All right, but their percentage is contributing to 273 million according to one of those things, right? That's a lot. That's way more than a lot of people combined paid in taxes.
And if he paid $2 billion in taxes, it would not be enough. He can't spend that much money in the rest of his lifetime.
I get that part.
So you don't though, because
my argument is
at least they gave jobs to people. At least they gave jobs.
But my argument, okay, listen. My argument is this: people are complaining about them paying less in taxes, and even though they're less, it's still millions of dollars, multi-millions of dollars. But the fact that they're doing something, they created something. Put it this way: they created something that also created a job.
See, here you go. Entitlement. This is where it goes back to. Because you are smart enough to create something, you're entitled to not have to be like everybody else. So what you're saying is the educated deserve to be entitled, but the uneducated who maybe don't have the opportunities because they didn't have $5 million from mommy and daddy to start a business in their garage.
Not everybody that started a business was given the money from their parents.
And not everybody that starts a business who creates jobs gets that level of tax break.
They don't. You're right.
So now it has to be, well, I'm sorry, you're a small company and you only employ 10 people. Fuck you. You don't employ 10 billion people worldwide like Amazon. So you know what? You're not as important. That's not fair.
If Amazon was to go out of business, how many people would be without jobs? So now the government has a bigger issue.
Blockbuster went out of business and everybody was fine.
Bro, Blockbuster is nothing compared to Amazon.
It was at the time.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. There was a Blockbuster. Think about it. In every town across America at one point.
And when you walk into Blockbuster, how many people were in the store working?
There's probably at least 3.
Yeah, well, there you go, 3.
Okay,
the whole day.
How many cities are in America?
Oh, that's a lot of cities. I can't give you that number.
Multiply
that number exists, but I don't.
Now we're just saying when you walked in, there was 3 people. Obviously, they employed, let's say 10, right? So 10 times how many Blockbusters? We could probably pull it up. How many Blockbusters there were at the height of Blockbuster, right? And I'll see if I can pull it up real quick and see how many jobs they employed.
Well, my whole point with this is stop crying about them paying less in taxes because their less percentages still equals more than what we put in. Now, do I wish they paid more so they can help out? But also they also have charity. Stop hating on the rich. That's my point. Stop being a hater.
It's funny how the 1%er in the group wants to advocate for the 1%ers.
What? How
As he drives around in his and her BMWs. That's right.
I'm not the 1%er. I'm not even anywhere close to that.
And lounges in his nice little pool, drinking his Mai Tais.
Bro, I'm middle
Florida.
class.
I know everybody has pools, but that's not the point.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Florida.
not the point. But it sounds better when I'm fighting my point. You know, as you're laying
I'm not
back
gonna argue with that. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna argue with that.
So
I like your point. You call me 1%. That's like I'm aiming towards that.
all right. So they employed At its peak in about 2004, Blockbuster employed approximately 84,300 people.
Do you know how many people Amazon employs? Yeah, look at that number up. It's in the 100,000s. I think they employ 200,000 people, I believe.
Now, here's the difference. There was no internet then.
What's up, Goldo? We missed you, Goldo.
Oh, it's not that much of a difference.
What is it?
It's 798,000. That's only 700,000
That's almost
more
a million
people.
Employment.
That's only 700,000.
So you're trying to tell me Jeff Bezos
people.
doesn't deserve? You tell me he doesn't deserve a tax break? Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. Oh, fuck out of here with that shit.
I think so, bro. If he was to go out of business, 700,000 people will be out of a job, and that's worldwide. The government would have a bigger issue. So the government got to be nice to these people.
That's not true. That's not true. All right, we live in a day. Listen, like I say, back in the day of Blockbuster, that was a lot of employment. There was no internet. There was no this or that. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know. I think you're crazy. That's like saying that
it could be.
That's like saying like certain retailers, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think, Staples or office supply stores and all those places, you know, that have stuff all over their places like that closed down. Think how many people they employ.
Yeah, and I get it, and that's why there's a huge unemployment. But I just think that, you know, when you reach to that level,
I think what it comes down to is if you admire them and you have a crush on them and you want to see yourself as a version of a lower level version of them, they're entitled enough not to have to worry about that stuff. And since you in your mind secretly are like, you know what, we're all really best friends. I just haven't came up with my invention yet. You know. Yeah. We should send something out to their publicists and see if we can get them on one day and ask them why they're so entitled.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Can you imagine we interview one of those guys on our show?
Oh my gosh. We should start sending stuff out to whatchamacallits, but nobody.
Publicists?
Yeah, publicists. The only one I'd really want to see, just because he seems like the only one that would.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, he's the only one that seems like the type of guy
down to earth.
He's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me go ahead and make these guys something, right?
Yeah.
And then one tweet from him, and it's like hundreds of thousands of people following us now, watching our show. You know, I watch these guys sometimes on my shitter. And you know,
can you imagine he tweets something like that? I love watching Generation Shock when I imagine if the shit that he does with the stocks that go up and down just by him supporting it. Like, I love watching Generation Shock while I take a dump.
Yep, toilet humor at its finest.
Bro,
all of a sudden, every American every person across America watching us while they shit. Amazing. I'll take it. I don't care how you take us in. Just take us in, America.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We gotta send them this. I'm gonna cut this and send it to him.
Oh my goodness. Yes, need to. That would be great. That would be great.
All right. Speaking of imagination, let's talk about the virtual world.
You want to hop into the last one, or we want to just do a fuck out of here?
Well, what time is it?
We're been about 45 minutes in already. So. If you want to do fuck out of here, we should probably just hop into that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we'll save the other topic for the next one.
I think with my fuck out of here,
because I think what happened was we had a longer Monster Week of Sports that it became an actual segment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why we cut one, and you know, the banter wasn't pretty bad.
I think my fuck out of here is gonna contradict the whole entitlement thing, and you're gonna be like, fuck out of here with that shit. Go ahead. But
that's you though. You
I don't me.
That's
what I'm saying. I'm gonna because
point.
My fuck out of here is it was just.
Well, let me do the intro. Here we go.
Go ahead.
All right, it's everybody's favorite segment, but most hated intro. It's fuck out of here.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that, and I don't know. You haven't said anything. I'm surprised you haven't said anything, or anybody has put on the comment. I misspelled fuck out of here on that intro, and nobody has said anything yet.
Dude, I can't. I told you I hate the intro because there's nothing to focus on. I'm literally trying to understand what I'm looking at. It's a backwards walking fish. He's underwater. Like, it has nothing to do with anything.
I literally
can't even see
misspelled.
that.
I keep writing it. I keep looking at it. I'm like, shit. I can't believe that I misspelled that shit, and nobody has said anything. That's
they're letting it slide.
Nobody's like, you guys are idiots. At least write that comment. So at least we know you're fucking watching it.
Right? Jesus.
So anyways, so you want to go first or do you want me to go?
You go first so I can try to think of something.
Yeah, because you're gonna be like, you're gonna ride off of mine because you're gonna be like, you're dumbass, you're fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's what I usually try to do. Let's go.
All right. So this is what I think, right? It was an incident that happened, and this guy is like yelling, right? And I get it. The product that you received at the house was damaged. I get it. So we can take care of you. Nobody ever said we can't take care of you, right? But the person, sometimes in the system, not sometimes, when this happens, when something's in transit, we can't touch it. Not at all. We can't do anything like that. But the guy was so upset, and I can hear him from far away yelling at the leader, and I'm like, oh wow, this guy's going ham. But Mr. Calm down person walks up, and anyways, after all, long story short, when I'm talking to him, he says, well, that person needs to learn how to work with people because he's in that position and he should be able to work with with people. So if anything, if he needs he should be trained a little bit better to work with people because he, that's part of his job. And in my head, I'm thinking, I didn't say anything, but in my head, I'm thinking, well, you also don't have the right to blow up on people, and you should also take responsibilities in the way how you talk to people. Maybe if you learn how to talk to people, maybe things will be resolved easier. So fuck out of here. Some people feel like you can just yell at somebody and they're entitled to yell at somebody and to do so, and then they expect the other person to react like this, like, oh, you're not yelling at me. Like, we all have emotions. I get it. Where everybody's stressed out. So fuck out of here with that shit.
I expect you just to sit there and take it. Okay.
Yeah.
When I start going off on you on the show, you're to sit there and take it and say, thank you, sir. May I have another?
And I just think it's kind of like the fact that he was going down on like going ham on him.
Going down on him. Whoa.
Yeah, going ham.
This whole topic went south real quick.
I just felt weird. I just felt like as I'm talking to him,
I'd be
and
weird
sometimes
too if somebody went down on somebody.
But sometimes I just feel like I should say, well, you didn't have to be. We should also. I get it. They're in a position to get yelled at and all that. But if you have some respect, and I get the frustration you're in, but you shouldn't be going like almost like up on the person's face. I mean, luckily enough, this person was calmed down enough where he didn't react to it, but it could have been anybody else. Have you seen those shits that happen on YouTube? If anybody else would have swung.
Yeah.
You know?
I've seen some stuff before.
And then you hear talking about his actions and he should be better at it. How about you looking at yourself and you should be better at how you react to things?
Preach, brother.
But that's my fuck out of here.
All right. Seems really worked up over it.
Yeah, I was.
Poor little guy.
Yeah, I felt bad for him.
So I'm old and I don't remember shit. Did I ever talk about the incident with my dog?
No.
Okay.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, hopefully I didn't. So this will be my fuck out of here then. So I had a little incident with my dog. So I like to do this amazing sport called golfing. Oh, by the way, I meant to mention it in the Monster Week of Sports. I have my new personal record. Did I tell you this last week? Yeah.
No.
So I'm one of those. I got a couple buddies of mine, and I know they're not watching so I can talk shit about them. They pay all this money to a golf pro to teach them golf lessons. So funny.
Yeah.
So funny. I'm so sidetracked now. You see, you got me talking about stories, and I lose my train of thought.
Go ahead. This is interesting, though.
And so they pay all this money, and so what I do is I don't want to pay a guy to tell me how to play golf. Because it's really expensive. So I started watching these YouTube videos, and I'll grab his link next week and I'll put it up on the show because that way I can promote a fellow YouTuber. But this guy, Ryan something, It's a golf pro in like England, and he makes these videos, and I just started watching them, and I've improved. I probably dropped 10 strokes in my golf game since I've watched this guy's videos. So I went out and I watched this.
So
video.
you watch these videos and you improve your strokes?
Yep, I just do what he recommends to do, and I try it out.
So
there
you
at the golf.
practice your strokes while you watch the video?
No, I don't stroke it while I'm watching the video. Let's try. Anyway, so I go out and I play on last Friday. So no, you wouldn't have known yet. And I changed my hand grip a little bit on the shaft, so I could grip it a little bit, stiffer. Yeah,
Yep.
see, I knew you'd like this, and I could really get around on it and really, connect to the ball. And I was hitting the drive straight, dude. I hit an 87, new record. I literally went 4 straight holes that I parred, and then I had a par 3 after that on a 5th hole. I birdied. I was 1 over after 7, just out there killing the ball. And this was a shitty course too. Like the putting green was horrible. Anyway, so the reason that started me is that I was going out one day and I decided I was going to play golf twice, and I wanted to have a long day of golf. So we ran out, we went golfing, and we were going to go do some shopping and stuff. So I was like, asked my family if they could hook me up and just let my dogs out. No big deal. Just let them out real quick. Shouldn't be an issue. So of course I had to ask my nieces though, who are, not liking to do anything that doesn't involve themselves or benefits themselves. So they half-assedly decide, they want to help me out. So they let the dogs out, but then they don't want to get the dog back in. So the one dog decides he's finally tired of being out there and runs in. And the other dog is so scared by the way that they talk to her and they treat her that she refused to come in. So
Really?
To the point where they left her out there for 2 hours and just let her be out there. And then finally,
And she sat by the stairs?
No, they didn't know where they left her out there for 2 hours, went back 2 hours later, couldn't find her. Had no clue where she was.
In the city?
Out back. That's not city, but there's still cars and stuff.
There's a fence?
No, there's no fence. But my dogs
Oof.
listen to me, so they just stay around. So anyway, so I finally get a phone call from my sister, and she's bitching at me because I guess she was sick, so I understand like her mentality. She's like dealing with COVID and shit. The last thing she wants to do is deal with this, but she fucking goes off on me. So I fucking start fighting with her, going like, oh, blah, blah. Like, I'm not going to get into that part. Anyway, so I got a phone call, so I had to leave like what I was doing and drive a half hour, 45 minutes home. Now I'm driving home. The thing is though, is I'm not worried as I drive home because I know what dog it is. Right. So I don't know if you guys can see them. I got 2 of them over there. Rex, Lily. See the one on the pillows?
Yeah.
Right there. And then that one.
Yeah.
The boy who's on the pillows, I've lost him once. When I was in Florida, I brought them both over to my friend's house, and the girl I was dating at the time, it was her dog. And she was out in Dr. Phillips visiting a friend or something. I don't remember. Anyway, so I brought them home, and he ran away on me. And I was like 15, 20 blocks away at this other person's house. I had to call her up that night because I couldn't find him. He was gone, right?
Really?
Because the girl dog stayed by me. Like she would, like, she's obsessed with me. She won't move too far from where I'm at. So anyway, we get home finally, and we're looking for the dog. We're out clouring the streets, calling his name. And I'm finally at home. I come back home just to see if, what we found out. And my girl dog's crying at the back door. Well, this motherfucker found his way from 15, 20 blocks and made it all the way back to the house looking for my girlfriend.
Wow.
Right? So this time it wasn't him that was out. So I knew I was all right. Right? So I came home not even worried about it. So what do? I get home. I walk up the driveway. I literally whistle twice. Little clap, clap. Lily, come here. You can see her ears moving in the background over there. Lily. Yeah, see? I say, Lily, come here. Dude, she's off in the corner hiding under a tree and under the car so nobody can see her, but she's still close enough to the house to make sure she knows when I get home.
Aww,
and the second I come home, fuck out of here. She's not just like, Daddy, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And comes right up to me, no problems. I knew she wasn't gone. She's not going to run off. That's not her style. Her style, she has to be near me. Like, she's not going to just take off on me. Him, on the other hand, fuck out of here.
He's like, fuck out of here.
He's already done it once in my life. That dude will take off again. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my fuck out of here. My dog. All right, good stuff.
But
good
that
stuff.
is a cute story, though.
Yeah. So.
You read Tasha's fuck out of here before we leave?
Yeah, I don't read them. She has to send it in a video. She knows the rules. She's done it before. This ain't her first rodeo either. You want to be on here? You gotta post a video to us. I'm not gonna read it off. It's not fair. If you guys want to know what she said, though, tune in to Generation Shock live Wednesdays, 10 p.m. And you can rewatch us throughout the week. Hit the notification bell, the like, all that kind of stuff. You know, get us some likes,
Subscribe.
send it out. Yeah, subscribe. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, all that other good stuff that we're supposed to say all the time, but we're not that show who does that. Anyways, was I?
We should
any
have
final words?
I think my final word is, you know how we have the Generation Shock logo on the bottom? We should also have a subscribe button and a notification button on the other
I agree.
side.
We're gonna have to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Natasha. You send it, and I'll post it. Don't worry. All right.
All right.
Well, for Generation Shot, guys, it's been fun. Until next week. Don't forget, if you guys also, I know nobody probably watches this long, so I'll just, I'm gonna.
But that's why I cut it. That's why I cut it and I put it and I put this part.
I'm gonna repeat all of this on the next show, but I'm gonna say it now anyway for prosperity. If you guys have topics you want to hear us talk about or you want to be involved in, let us know in the comments. Right? Tell us what you guys are interested in. What sparks your interest? What do you want to talk about? Maybe that way we, what would you like to hear Messiah and I argue about?
Yeah.
Right? So, because we all know one thing. You ain't entitled just because you give people jobs.
We got the right stuff. We put the hammer right down. Wanna